Hello, Internet! Shouth is here, and it's time for another episode of Arena Time here on ShoutStone. We, of course, are following Totalbiscuit's run through the arena, and we are headed into Game 5, so without any further ado, let's get into the action right now. It is Anduin versus Jaina. So, here we are. Totalbiscuit playing the part of Anduin the Priest, Nightmare playing the part of Jaina the Mage. So, I am still coming off of the high of BlizzCon and all of the outstanding Hearthstone news and the tournament, which was a blast to watch. And hopefully a good indicator for Blizzard to actually put more esports related effort into Hearthstone. I certainly think that by the time this game hits open beta or full release, it's going to be the most popular game Blizzard makes. I think that that's just going to be the way it is. And I'm sure being free to play is going to have a lot to do with it, but still. Anyway, so Nightmare plays the good old freaking Mad Bomber and gets the best possible luck out of it. All 3 bombs hitting Totalbiscuit, none hitting him. And it's really about all you can ask for with the Mad Bomber, is that he doesn't attack any of your stuff or you directly. And that was about as good as it gets. And so we get a 3-2 on turn 2, which is good. So now Totalbiscuit's going to have to find a good way to respond. He could reply with a Mad Bomber in kind, but instead he's going to coin out a Jungle Panther. So a 4-2 on turn 2 to respond. Now, of course, he cannot trade these minions on this next turn. Mage player is going to have to find another way to respond, or just further establish up his field, get some more cards out there. And as we all know, it would be nice if I could see his side of the table too, but he's going to take the Mad Bomber, do another 3 points of damage to Totalbiscuit. And looking in response here. So, got that flesh-eating ghoul out there, certainly something he's going to want to get taken care of before it's too late. Plays the Shattered Sun Cleric to buff up his little minion there. And that'll be enough to take out the ghoul without losing the minion. So Jungle Panther still surviving. Still a very realistic threat. He might want to sacrifice... Oh no, he's just going to pick it off with the Fire Blast. So reasonable response there. Get rid of that, play an Amani Berserker, and get another 3 points of damage in. Just clear the field. So a good trade there. I think the Mad Bomber more than paid for itself in the damage that it dealt to Totalbiscuit and the strike that it got in on the second turn. So, looking pretty good so far. Alright, Loot Hoarder and a Pint-Sized Summoner being brought into play for Totalbiscuit. I'm sure that Summoner is going to be a key target for Nightmare to try and respond to. Right now, as far as TB's deck goes, well, we're approaching the 5-drop, so he's going to be able to play that Mercenary should he want to. Alright, so he is just going to take out the Pint-Sized Summoner, get the Enrage effect on that Berserker, which could mean that a Mad Bomber play on this next turn might not be a bad idea. It's always a gamble, and that's why, that's kind of the point behind the Mad Bomber being a 2-drop for 3-2, is that's the risk you have to take. And it might end up being really beneficial to you. It might end up killing you, or killing your minions, but potential's there. Alright, so an Azure Drake comes out for Nightmare, which will increase his spell power and draw the card. But he neglected to, well, I don't know why he's oopsing. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure there. He may have not played exactly what he was looking to play there. I think he did attack with that Berserker, so... Oh well, I guess we'll see what happens here. Again, Mad Bomber is a little less of a gamble here. He's just going to trade the Loot Hoarder, get that card draw. Should be a light spawn. So, Mad Bomber, probably nobody wants to play. So he is going to drop that Venture Company Mercenary, get out a nice strong 7/6 minion early, and hopefully do some sizable damage, or at least serve as a target for one of Nightmare's major spells. If he has something like a Fireball or anything like that, it's better to let a minion eat that than the hero sometimes. Granted, this might be a little early to want to pass the damage on to a key minion like that. I'm sure he'd rather have that Venture Company Mercenary stay alive for a little bit longer than just eat the 6 damage himself, or in this case 7 damage because of the spell damage effect. Gonna play the Argent Commander and trade the Azure Drake to clear it out. So, not bad there. He does lose the Venture Company Mercenary early. And as far as options, let's see. Well, no use for that Inner Fire yet. I don't think he's going to want to drop that Mad Bomber, and unfortunately that Argent Commander is in that nice sweet spot that counters the Priest removal spells. Both Shadow Word Pain and Shadow Word Death are right opposite of that 4 attack power. I mean, all he does have at this point is Shadow Word Death, which affects minions that are have 5 or more attack, whereas Shadow Word Pain can kill a minion that's 3 or less. But 4? No thanks. Alright, so he's doing the Mad Bomber, and the majority of it does attack his opponent's minion, so that's fine. You know, you can take that. He could play Inner Fire as a bit of an offensive spell instead of a buff, and it looks like that is what he's going to do. Yeah, he's going to turn that into a 1/1 minion, which is actually a pretty nice strategy, because he doesn't have enough to kill it, but he has enough to at least neuter it for now. So he renders it pretty much a worthless minion. So it's probably just going to be thrown either into the bomber or just thrown into the hero to do a little bit more damage. I mean, you know, in this case, I'd probably just throw it right into the hero, unless he's got something to do another point of damage. I mean, he could take out the Mad Bomber with sacrificing that 1/1 minion and then pinging it with Fireball, or Fire Blast. He's going to hit Arcane Intellect, get a couple more cards, fill up that hand a little bit more. Ogre Magi to get some more spell power out. And nope, he's just going to bypass it, go straight to the hero, and leave that target up. So, now, options still not the best. Again, another 4-drop, a great counter to a Priest deck to work around those removals. But not really any good options here for Totalbiscuit. Well, he's got some decent option. He doesn't have anything that's really key here. He can certainly take out that 1/1 minion without a problem, and it won't cost him anything. But I'm sure he's going to want to get rid of that Ogre Magi with a little more pressing concern, I guess I should say, than the little guy. But he is going to focus fire on that, sacrifice the Mad Bomber, and then hit it with Inner Fire. So okay, so he uses both Inner Fires that he has as offensive spells, and he's going to play that Light Spawn, which will act as 5/5, self-heal, and pass the turn. So he has, you know, that Ogre Magi still out on there as a 1/1 minion, but it does have that +1 spell damage, and spell damage is always dangerous when you're playing against a mage, whether it's constructed or arena, doesn't matter. He's going to put a secret into play, probably Ice Barrier. Oh, and a Polymorph on the Light Spawn. Wow. And he plays Crusader. Okay, so quick minion trade there, another quick point of damage, and the turn is passed. So Fen Creeper could be a reasonable option at this point. He's just got a couple small minions, not enough to certainly take out the Fen Creeper, both of which would be basically evenly traded. Except, of course, the Argent minion would survive at least one more turn due to its shield. Mind Control, really not worth anything at this point. There's nothing really worth stealing. And, of course, he can get another self-heal off. That might end up just being the only real option at this point. I don't really think... I mean, he could play the Cabal Shadow Priest, but I wouldn't, you know... I don't know if he'd really want to get either of those at this point. I mean, neither of them are bad, so to say. Alright, well, he's going to take the Argent Commander, and it's going to trigger a secret to get a Mirror Entity, so he's going to get his own Cabal Shadow Priest, so that will trigger that. Fortunately, when that effect is triggered, it does not spawn the Battle Cry. So it's not like he could have stolen it back. But, alright, so the 1/1 Argent minion is still, you know, it's very nice to have as a 1-drop. You know, and pretty much it's really the only good option you can take this late in the game when it comes to triggering the Cabal Shadow Priest's effect. We're going to use the Fireball to break the shield And a Flame Strike. Key Flame Strike clears the field out. And that leaves TB vulnerable to some serious damage. So, it's still very early. There's still a lot to be considered in this game. Fen Creeper probably going to be a good option here. Just to get some defense out there. I mean, it can be taken out in one turn, but at least it's going to occupy all those minions, and it would... it'll at least take out the Ogre Magi if he decides to attack in with that. Now, of course, it also comes down to what else is in the hand of Nightmare. Another secret coming in. Alright, so we're looking at some serious minion power coming out here. Yeah, he is going to trade that Magi. Or is he not? I think he's weighing his concerns right now. I mean, he knows it's going to do enough damage to allow him to take it out with the Shadow Priest. Alright, he is going to sacrifice it, so he's going to lose that extra bit of spell damage, but it keeps the field clear. Lord of the Arena, however, makes a nice replacement for it. It's a very sturdy taunt minion to take the Fen Creeper's place. And still nothing of size. Oh, and another Mirror Entity. That's pretty huge right there, because that's going to leave a really big hurdle for Totalbiscuit to take. Now, theoretically, if that minion survives, he could steal it on the next turn and really put up a nice wall in front of him. Or you could just use Shadow Word Death, because he does have that, and it's finally a minion of significant cost on the other side of the table. This seems to be... Nightmare seems to have a really mid-cost, low-cost deck here, so it's enough to not make a good target for Shadow Word Death, so we might as well burn it now, you know? Oh, but there's that Frostwolf Warlord. That's going to be a much better target. So, or he could mind control it. You know, there's a lot of options here. We'll have to see kind of where it ends up. I mean, right now his field is clear. He's going to need something on the other side of that table. He is staring at fatal damage right now. Alright, so... He obviously has to take out the Frostwolf Warlord. That can be done with Shadow Word Death, or he can mind control it. But no, I think he thinks he's done. That's interesting. Because I think he could have really, you know, taken the Frostwolf, and he could have Shadow Word Death the... Well, he could have done them both, that's right. Because that's 11 mana right there. Oh well. Didn't really quite work out for Totalbiscuit. He had to concede that game. But that's going to put him up against the wall. He's now looking at 2 potential losses here. Or he has 2 losses. He's looking at potential elimination going into Game 6 on Wednesday. But that is going to do it for this episode of ShoutStone. I will be back tomorrow with more. I'll be back Wednesday with the next round of Arena Time. So don't miss any of that. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget that the next season of Arena Time will be featuring Trump whenever that starts. So don't miss that. And don't miss all of our other stuff. And I'm hoping to have a brand new featured player as part of ShoutStone very soon, in addition to Day 9, Trump, and Totalbiscuit. But as that happens, I'll let y'all know. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for daily updates. Find me on Facebook and Twitter. Like the video. Leave a comment. I know that Google Plus sucks, but do it anyway if you want. And that's all. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you all next time.